after things started operating, the two small helidecks were converted into two big helidecks, and the Chetak was using the smaller one. Okay, and please, we were bestowed with the sights of all kinds of emperors, all kinds of penguins, seals, and whales. Okay, and what you see, it is written 14 number. That is a snowcat. Okay, the snowcat is the one which carries items from ship to the station, and from station to station it is a carriage. In between you can see frozen sea. Picture number 5, frozen sea. You can see the broken ice. You can see the ship, and carefully it's being taken because these snow icebergs, only 1/11th of the size is visible outside. What you see outside, 10 times more are inside the water. The ship runs away. They turn course and do not approach the icebergs at all. We have to avoid them. So carefully we were taken, and while returning, it was the same story. And only thing was, we were all satisfied with the job done, and the wintering team returning home. Wintering team, after 16 months, they were on board, and in the meeting which we hope to have again in June, we will have the scientists too to give their experience. Okay, now let me tell you why we were worried about the geology and geography and the Met. You know the world. TBR, you can go back to the thing. You can go back to normal. The picture says good. The Earth is tilted to one side by 23.5 degrees. Because of this tilt, we have monsoons. We have seasons. And one of the seasons is the monsoon season, which is important for the seawater in the form of rain come to the land. Okay. And because of this tilt, the polar sunshine one side and polar night in the opposite side will be there. So when we talk in general, in the general book says 6 months day and 6 months night. Okay, so actual time available to you is 2 months of absolute daylight. But the problem with the daylight is, like Sodhi said, it is 24 hours. Where is the sunset to tell us the day is over? It was not there. So we had to see the clock and stop working. So when the crew said daytime, normal time is bad weather. When the good weather is available, it becomes technically the light time. So that is a time when others are resting. People said, we want to fly. It cannot be flown. Then the leader took a decision that even the logistic luggage transportation also will be done by the Air Force team for loading and unloading. So things we have faced, we have done enough in the cooperation, in the building of Antarctic stations. Now I'll go back a little. I will tell you what was the requirement of this expedition at all. In 1961, there was a system created for Antarctic Treaty System, which said Antarctica will be no arms ammunition, no nuclear devices, and no country will own any place. There will be no natural subjects, except for Argentina, which has got a link on the western side of Antarctica. So only one by one, everyone signed. India also signed. By then, we have 64 countries which have signed the Antarctica Treaty. This very clearly said there will be no. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the whole lot of scientists, but the scientists, instead of going to other countries and doing, we said we should do our own. So we took them all on board the ship, and they did all kinds of experimentation, and still the experiments are going on. Okay, this treaty, which even today stands good, is that there will be no prospects for oil, no prospects for anything. Just leave it as it is. A few days back, about a week and a half back, we had an information. You must have read it in the newspaper. One big iceberg has broken off from Antarctica and traveling somewhere. Okay, by the time it comes to the warm areas, it will all melt. But why this very alarming news is, if Antarctica starts breaking, we will have no snow, no weather effect or climatic effect all over the country. To tell you geologically that once upon a time, India, Africa, Australia, South America were part of Antarctica. Kindly think. Please, in your atlas at home, have a look in the first few pages. There will be a picture of the world 250 million years back. Just not 1 million, 2 million, is 250 million years back. We were all together. When it broke off, that is the one which our country broke off even from South Africa and African continent and came and right up to the Asia Plateau. And when it knocked against the Asia Plateau, that is a time when we started lifting the Asia Plateau, also the ground under the seabed. That is how we had Himalayas. Please understand, Himalayas are not as old as our Deccan Plateau hills. Himalayas are Kacha even today, cannot build. Why we have many a time in Uttarakhand landslides? Because it is Kacha area. It is all undersea area. It is not the regular one. North of Ganga, north of Ganges river is all which has been lifted out of the sea. Not only the Indian continent, subcontinent started lifting the Asian plateau, it also lifted some portion of the BC beds also. That is where it became the Himalayas. Himalayas are the junior most in hierarchy as far as the mountains are concerned. Okay. Having said that, geologically we have discussed geographically why it happens from the north to south and south to north the winds, and the earth is rotating from west to east and we are orbiting from east to west. So what happens is each one makes a difference, and of course one day we will give a full period to Manoj Datta to tell us why it happened. But in the meanwhile, we will just understand that the weather, entire world's weather, is depending on what happens in the poles. So we are discussing that. Now to give you a bit of background as far as the Hindu mythology is concerned, this was discussed to me on the board ship itself by one of the scientists. Please understand that Samudra Manthan, have you heard of the Samudra Manthan in your geology? What it said, from the Kshir Sagar, the sea of milk, milk, that is, it was full of snow. It looked white as milk. That is why it is called Kshir Sagar. So what the South Antarctica, we traveled from there. When the land piece of southern peninsula came to Asia, it was not coming straight, it was rotating. Very slowly, but it was rotating. That is what the Hindu mythology called at Manthan, the Samudra Manthan. Okay, as we crossed the southern waters, as we reached, each and every sea animals, sea creatures climbed over the land. That is why when we had reached Asia, the present position, we had all kinds of animals, all kinds of people, and all kinds of Jurassic Park items. You have to imagine a lot to understand this. I'll give you the time. Please go ahead. Now, Tibia, back to you. Just if people can ask some questions. I'm not going to extend beyond this because there is so much we can talk. When we meet again, we shall discuss more specifically in general. Okay, back to Tibia.
Yeah, thank you, Krishnamurthy sir and Vinkamanda Sodhi sir and Vinkamanda Venki sir for your explanation of the entire expedition part of it. And so you used to fly aboard the ship also, sir, flying in the Antarctica region. What was the purpose of flying, sir, at that point of time? Unmute, sir, unmute. Yes, sir. I'm asking, what is the purpose of flying into the sea at that point of time?
When we reached Antarctica,
sir,
our job was to carry and fly out men and material to the Antarctica Indian stations.
Okay. From the sea to the station?
From ship to the station. Because when we say we docked, it was not docking like the regular ports.
Yes, sir.
We were in the Polynya. Polynya is small amount of water surrounded by the ice. Polynya. It's the technical geological term. Polynya. Polynya.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And this one didn't give you the berthing as you did in Goa port or Calcutta port. So we had to fly out people on board. Now, not only them, we required to take their rations for the 16 months ration, and we had to take the construction material. We had to take the whole lot of items to the thing. So the flying was required throughout the day.
Okay. 200,
300 hours had to be done and carry the items. Sometimes the flight was only about 14 minutes, but going and coming for the entire day, we were able to carry. The rear doors were removed and we were given an immersion suit as thick as 1 inch, so that in case the water landing is there, ditching is there by any chance, we don't get cold water surrounding us and killing us or hurting us. So we wore an immersion suit which was as thick as 1 month, full of rubber, and flew there. And when Maitri started, Maitri was little more distant from Dakshin Gangotri, and that is where the more flying was done. And when weather improved, the ice melted, we could berth properly, then the snowcats were utilized. Sometimes even the snowcats were not sufficient because snowcats were off-roll slow. Helicopter could go at faster speed, offload and come. Okay. And scientists were dispersed all over. We had a nearby hill where a scientist had gone, and we went to pick him up, and it was little far than the Maitri, and we didn't want to lose the sight of Maitri also. So the flying was essentially to carry men and material in short. So individually, what all we did, that will be there. You see, and again, it was a sight to see. Again, I'm repeating. We don't mind others. The technical crew seeing us and receiving us both at Maitri as well as on the ship. Their help was immense. Okay. It is to be written etched in golden letters. Okay. Happy.
Yeah. Okay. What is the distance between these two stations, sir? Is it far away or nearby?
No, it is not far away. It can't be more than 25-30 kilometers.
That's all. Okay.
But the items to carry has to be taken, if it is to be by road, by land, it has to be by snowcat. Loading snowcat alone from the ship it's a task. So once loaded in the helicopter, it gets unloaded in the site straight away. Whereas when you carry in the snowcat, it is double loading and double unloading there. Okay. So it was fast. That is how.
Yes. No, where did you used to stay, sir? You mean during night
on
and
board
in the ship itself or in the station?
All the 4 months we were on board the ship. Okay.
On.
Yes. So many people had commented, "Arey, you are in 5-star, we are in this thing." Yes, when you compare the stations in Antarctica, bad weather and good weather and cold weather, we were definitely in 5-star. But remember, we were there with a purpose. We were there because the helicopters were there. We were not there for fun's sake. Yeah.
Yeah, you were at the expedition started somewhere in November and came back by March time. So what was the climate like, sir? What is the degrees?
Another time, I shall give you more details about the Thule land.
Okay, sir.
The original Thule land which we went has come to India for breakage in Kathiawad. Okay. Remember, we have a place in Gujarat where the ships from all over the world come and we break them. Okay. This has already been broken. The present Thule land is not the one which you went.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So during the journey, you must have enjoyed the journey itself, sir, apart from the destination part, having seen a lot of wild animals.
Yes. Now for this, I talked with Sharad Pathak. My book, which is there, he said many are not able to afford 250 rupees. Can we bring a cheaper edition? So we are in the talk with some other person, and we will bring the same thing under the enjoyment of the ship, the experience as per my is there already in the book, but it will reach you at a easy. In the meanwhile, if anyone wants to download it on the Kindle, you can do it, and it is available on the Kindle either through Amazon or through Notion Press.
What is the name, sir? What name of the book?
Through the Rotor Disc.
It's the same book, that you are mentioning. Through
the Rotor Disc.
Okay.
We have a section called Antarctica Journal.
Okay.
The last book is the Antarctica Sojourn.
Okay.
Please have a look. You can download in the Kindle, and we are trying our best. We have already started our Baatchit. We are trying to bring out a easy edition, pocket edition, so that even it is cheaper than this, can't be affordable all. This book was for the children. Entire Antarctica expedition has been written with the children in their mind. So it will be easy to understand. It will be easy to go through and understand. So that is the answer for your question about the experience on board the ship while traveling.
Okay.
The below 40 degrees south latitude is called roaring 40s. Why it is called roaring 40s? Many people will know, because the ship goes through literally a shake-up for 3 to 5 days, we passed through that 40 degrees south. The ship was rocked like a small little boat in the rainy season where we make the paper boat and drop it.
Okay.
Can you imagine the people inside?
Between the icebergs, sir?
Yes. No, iceberg will come later.
Okay.
This is rocking by the sea itself. The roaring 40 is because of the winds.
Okay.
Because of the winds of the prevailing there, it used to shake like a small little boat. And given the thing, and it is to be experienced to understand what we are talking about.
Okay.
So some other time, someday, yes, you may get, even now we are not very old, we get a chance to go on board a ship, we should go and enjoy the thing and come. Why not?
Okay, sir, definitely. Yeah, we'll go through your book for knowing all your experiences. So can you share one most memorable experience, sir? One experience.
Sodhi, I leave it to Sodhi because he had done 2 trips.
Okay.
And he has seen more. There are many memorable occasions in one trip. I will request Wing Commander Sodhi, please unmute yourself. Tell me an experience which you will never forget.
Yes,
please
sir.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, Sodhi, sir, please.
It just happens that as we mentioned during our talk, that we see a lot of animals and birds, etc., a new variety of things. But as it goes, when we start, after a few days, once we cross the sea, we find no animal, no bird, nothing except what crew we have on board. The most memorable moment comes when suddenly one bird is seen in the sky and complete ship, everybody comes out to see that one bird. Because we see nothing else for days together. Only the same faces. And nothing else. No, there is hardly any fish also seen. There is only once you see one bird or 2 birds in sky, and you feel everybody comes out and enjoys the sight.
Okay.
Those are the moments which we see.
So you must have seen the nesting of all the penguins. That is, I think, most famous there.
Yes,
penguins,
yes. Sir. Penguins are so sweet. They are so sweet to look at. They are so friendly. Though we don't go and play with them because that is also not part of our job. They are not permitted to go and pick them up or play with them. But you sit down and they will surround you. You can see, you can watch them. So nice and so playful things.
So you must have heard the mesmerizing sounds of sharks, kind of fisher.
Yes, we see a lot of sharks.
Okay.
Lot of huge sharks moving around the ship. Though they are, compared to ship, they are very small, but they are huge. And on board, when we land there, then we have seals.
Yeah.
Seals also see plenty of seals, which we only read in books. But we see plenty of seals also there.
Flamingos, sir. Did you happen to see flamingos and dolphins?
Yes, flamingos. Of course, those are the things which we see all over there flying around.
Okay. So, so thrilling to hear all about it. Yes, sir. So, sir, Krishna, okay, he has shared the most amazing moments. What were the most difficult? You can name the most difficult occasion during which you felt something challenging. Most challenging situation.
Please understand, the most challenging part of Antarctica is the weather.
So okay.
Sir. And when the snowstorm comes, you have not seen anything like this in your life. It is 100 kilometer speed. Okay. So what happens is, if you get stuck in the open with the helicopter, you are going to be with the helicopter in that open cold.
Okay.
In the immersion suit, you will be there. That's all.
Okay.
Please understand, that is the most difficult time you can ever think. So we have to plan going and coming and switching off in time. That the pilots will know. The Met officers, they used to be 24 hours on the job. We had one naval Met and we had one. And of course, from the civil side, we had specialists on weather we had. So we were given advice from various sources of Met specialists. Okay, Navy and of course the Air Force Met officers were the aviation specialists, no doubt about it. But there are others who can talk about their experience and their weather thing. Okay, so the most difficult thing when you say is the weather, where we should not get stuck. And when we plan even an inspection on the helicopter, which has to be open. You have seen that photograph. The deck is in the open, and full of ice, full of winds. Where is the time? And you can't touch. The metal, when it is super cold, can give you burns like you touching a hot iron.
Okay.
So how are you going to come? When you use the gloves, you cannot tighten the screw.
Okay.
You can only spoil your gloves.
Okay.
Please understand why I am after the Met people. So I am a maintenance people helping us. It is they were in the open through and through. I'm telling you again and again. And when I was the headquarters, I used to tell the guys, only if you can take it, please go. Otherwise, you are most welcome not to go. Though they were very, very keen, able guys, very keen, very, 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 interested in going. But I used to tell them it is very difficult. You are going to be in the cold. You can have the entire body covered with warm clothes, but your fingers will have to be bare. Please understand. To work on the helicopter, you cannot catch a screwdriver. You cannot catch a plier with the gloves on. It doesn't work. You don't work like this. You're not used to it. So our challenge in the entire system, for the entire team, for the entire scientific expedition in Antarctica is the weather and the temperature.
Okay. Then kudos to the Wing Commander Venkatesh sir and his entire crew for giving you the excellent technical support. So then, sir, you must have seen or witnessed the avalanches part of also during the course of the journey. Did you happen to see any avalanches, sir?
No, there is no avalanche there. Avalanche happens in the hills. The snow slides down the hill.
Okay.
There are hills there, but we don't go to that hill that far away. We are initially in the shore area.
Okay.
It is built on years and years of snowing, years and years of snowstorm. It is one after the other. The scientists, can you believe they drive through a pipe and pick up ice which is some 100 years old. Only carbon dating will tell you it is 100 years old, 101 year old, 102 years old, like that. So they drive a pipe through and pick it up like picking up the water from through the straw.
Okay.
And they just check the lifetime. So it is there, and it is only, there is no avalanche there, only this experiments are there.
Or did you happen to spot any kind of bear kind of thing in that area?
No. The only thing we can say is there is something called a sea lion, which is actually a shy animal.
Okay.
They don't come.
Seal.
So if you happen to see one sea lion, you are a very, very fortunate fellow, because it doesn't come on shore just like that.
Okay.
They are in the uninhabited places where the human beings are not there. Okay. But sighting a whale also is a great experience, which is not every day, which is not every time. Okay. They come and play. When they see the ship is there, they come this way, jump over and go that way and jump over. It is a beautiful sight to see. Of course, there are people who have taken videos. Please remember, in 86, 90, 91, there was no GPS. There was no Wi-Fi. There is no WhatsApp. There is no nothing. So we depended on telecommunication, satellite calls, and things like that. So if Krishnamurti gets a call from home, people used to look at him with jealousy. So it is their turn. When it comes, it's other field to this. It is fun. It is, and suddenly one scientist or somebody will become a Jyotishi because he has read a book somewhere. He will start looking at it. Everyone stands there in line. Please read my poem also. So it is all fun on the ship as far as the traveling is concerned. Learning process. I repeat again and again. I never spent time in the room, in the cabin. I was always with the scientists. Pick up some information or the other. It is all, you have to pay money to gain knowledge. You have to be fortunate to meet such kind of guys. It is the Antarctica expedition which made you put with them. And next meeting, I have requested one scientist Mukherjee, come and he has got stories to tell you.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And I have requested my Antarctica WhatsApp group also that please suggest a date. We have given, you people have given 2 dates. One of them I'll tell you today, tomorrow I will tell you after hearing from them. Idea is not just the Air Force, Army or Navy, scientists too. I have 2 scientists in our colony in Bombay who have been to Antarctica. Okay. One of them said that he realized the goodness of the defense after the Antarctica trip, quote unquote.
Okay.
He said, no, I had no idea of the defense guys.
Defense person, yes.
So much so, please believe me, he said, I got my one daughter married to an Air Force pilot.
Oh, great.
He said this.
So you change his mindset.
Yes. So it is all fun. Everything is fun so long as one thing I must tell you, a sad thing which happened in the 8th expedition or 9th expedition, I don't remember, or 7th expedition. 3 scientists, they were inside the Arctic tent and they died of asphyxia.
Oh.
Okay. It is very unfortunate, and the responsibility came on the air headquarters to arrange an airlift. Those days, we had only Russian IL-76 going all the way from Russia. Somewhere in southern Africa, they used to refuel and then fly from there, go and land on the snow.
Is it possible, sir, to land on snow?
Yes. What I will tell you how they do it. You have toys in Ladakh. Have you heard of toys? Siachen Glacier.
No.
Siachen Glacier.
What is it, sir?
Siachen in the Ladakh area, there is a glacier called Siachen Glacier.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Before the Siachen Glacier, we have an airfield called Thois, which recently, about 10 years back, it has been hardened. That is concretized.
Okay.
Whereas once upon a time, all it was, we had to land the fixed wing AN-12s used to land on the sand there.
Okay.
What they used to do is they used to let these road rollers, keep going on top. So the first touchdown at least is hard enough.
Okay.
Similarly, on the snow in Maitri, Russians had an airfield, no doubt about it, IL-76 to land. But how they made it? They used to run a road roller morning and evening throughout the day before the helicopter comes. Before the aeroplane comes. And the snow gets compressed, gets hidden in the subbed, embedded in the ground and becomes hard. Okay. And similarly, all airports, all airfields in the Antarctica are using this method. There is hardly any permanent station because of the damage it could have on the ecological. Okay. So this is the one system which the aeroplane used to land. Okay. The helicopter didn't require, we used to have, even for helicopters, fresh snow area was not advisable. So we used to look around for some old snow and touch down very, very carefully if you have to land somewhere else. Otherwise, Maitri had an helipad of its own. Yeah, please go ahead.
So nice, sir. And before we go on to the question and answer session, so can you say something about North Pole or South Pole, sir? How are they? And I have no idea.
Okay. North Pole and South Pole are the coldest areas, you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And also, they are the one which control your climatic pattern in the entire world. Okay. To understand this, all I am saying is 100 rupees is the field atlas, school atlas. Just buy them, buy a copy. It has got free lessons. Not only the maps, it has got first pages, 10 pages will be only on geography. Please, I always tell the people, the best present you can give is buy an atlas and give. Because if they read, they will understand what is the thing. So you will understand how these poles, the cold areas of North Pole and South Pole control the weather or the climatic pattern in the entire world. Your rains, monsoon is coming on time or not is depending on the South Pole.
Okay.
If the current is not all right, if the water does not get warm enough, there will be no water. There will be no water evaporation, which the southwest monsoon winds will bring over the land area. So the poles control your climatic pattern to a large extent. And why I asked the WhatsApp people to look for Lakshadweep Island, Mauritius, and the equator was that is the route we take.
Okay.
From Goa, when we left the ship, we used to put on the magnetic compass. The ship used to steer 210. You understand what is 210? It is south-southeast, south-southwest. Okay. And that is the general direction to go to Antarctica. Okay. And if you draw a line from London to the South Pole, that is where Dakshin Gangotri is approximately, not exactly, but approximately. Draw a line from North Pole or London, draw a line southwards to Antarctica, and it is there, the Dakshin Gangotri is there. So to reach that place, we have to go south-southwest. The ship is to take the south-southwest. First, we used to cut across Lakshadweep Islands, cross the Lakshadweep Island, and slowly we get into the waters of Indian Ocean. cross equator, then the Mauritius, then Seychelles, along the Madagascar, the east coast of Africa. You go across, and those days we were never used to go near South Africa, but nowadays the friendly relationship was there, so we go. Otherwise, those days we used to avoid South Africa and go to Antarctica. So this is the voyage in short, but there is more and more stories to tell. Even if you give me 7 days, I will not be able to complete it.
Okay.
But we will pick up. I will advise you what to this is. We will pick up some more after the Antarctica, the WhatsApp group meets. Then we will discuss what to do. We can pick up 1 or 2 lectures from there also. Okay. Any questions, gentlemen? Because
Okay.
we are
Now we'll
reaching
open it to
the
our members, sir,
Yes.
for questions.
now Galaxy J6. Who is putting the hand up? Just
Now we'll see that. So
I can't see
now,
the face.
JW Upadhyay, sir.
Okay. Upadhyay, unmute yourself and ask the question, please.
Yeah.
Uday Banu, bolo.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Uday
Good
Banu, ex-JW
Yes,
from
yes.
110HU.
Yes.
In
I know.
71 war, I was in Nigel,
Yes,
SNCSC servicing batch.
yes.
I am very much glad to see you, sir.
Yes, Uday Banu. Go ahead. Any particular question on the Antarctica?
No, nothing. I was hearing from the first onwards. Thank you very much for the explanation. I am very much happy, and I could see you at least in this way.
My pleasure,
A long
Uday Banu.
time.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes, sir. Anybody else can raise your Vishwanath.
Raghavan, you may go ahead, please. Unmute yourself and ask the question, please.
Yeah.
Just I want to know, the 3 scientists
Ah.
have died there. How they died, sir?
It was a sad incident. Arctic tent is designed in such a way that no external air can enter to make it cold. Once you enter, body heat keeps the tent warm. It takes a few seconds, few minutes for the body heat to envelop into the small little tent, and during the sleep, they forgot probably. I do not know. I have not read any reports. The legend says that they forgot to put out the candle. So carbon monoxide poisoning, they are supposed to have died. It is not on any experimental time or outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll give chance to our group captain Das, sir. Sir, would you like to ask anything?
Yes, sir.
Unmute and ask, sir.
So may I come, sir?
Yeah, please.
Kunandan,
Advocate Raghavan. Raghavan.
go ahead, Kunandan.
Raghunath, myself.
Raghunath.
You have
Go
told,
ahead.
Okay.
you have told that there is a problem of rather prismatic compass. You were able to see the directions. The compass cannot work at north or south pole.
At
Then the
least,
directions is very difficult for
Yes.
marshalling.
Yes. We used to do point-to-point flying. You understand what we are talking about? We used to do point-to-point flying. There is no map.
No, that's true.
We were on the ship. Ship had a particular position which
Correct.
we knew. And in the general direction where the snowcats used to come was the Dakshin Gangotri, hardly any distance.
Okay.
Okay. So, and Maitri. And beyond Maitri, when we went for any other extraneous flying, that we did point to point. Again, I'm telling point to point. Those days, the GPS was not there.
Correct. I know it.
Yeah. So from A to B, we used to go. But supposing we had to go to C, from B to C, we used to go and come back to B and come to A. We never came from C to A directly.
That was the main point actually.
Yes.
Because the
That
distance.
is- Not
As
the
you
distance,
mentioned-
not distance, visibility. Visibility was the criteria. You
That
can't
was-
see that. Yeah.
Even distance was also more from ship
No,
to the
this-
Dakshin Gangotri and Dakshin Gangotri.
Compared to the distance, it is the visibility which matters.
I request others to mute yourself, sir, other than the person speaking, so we are otherwise getting background.
Manjunath, please go ahead. Manjunath, unmute yourself and please talk.
Yeah.
Unmute.
Unmute.
Remember to unmute. Remember to unmute.
Listening from your end, it was really thrilling one. And a lot of learning from your narration, sir. We appreciate management of weather, maintenance of helicopter, the journey, the offloading of your whatever.
It's not clear.
Yeah, there is some disturbance in his voice, sir.
Uh,
And you people have managed that up to you, sir. I'm sure it's an ongoing process. your time, lot of technology was not that developed. In recent time, lot of technology developed.
Sir, unfortunately, I can't hear you.
Yeah,
I could
okay.
not make out the
Yeah,
question.
we are not. Yes, sir. Okay, Mr.
Can I ask a question, Group Captain Apte?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead, sir.
yes, sir.
Sir, good afternoon. It was a very nice lecture. I have two questions. Can you narrate incident which happened? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir,
can.
yes.
I can. Go ahead.
Can you narrate any incident of any major unserviceability which was tackled on board during any of the expeditions? That was the first question. And the second question is, I believe besides India, lot of other countries have their own expeditions around Antarctica during the season. So was there any international exchange for any purpose, humanitarian or any type, during any of the expedition? Thank you.
Beautiful question. Second question first. Our station, Maitri, is just about 5 kilometers from the Russian station, East German station. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Was there a exchange between the international exchange for
Yes.
any humanitarian cause?
Yes. It is very common to exchange items, ration, equipment in these things. It is just not one. It are plenty, many. You cannot just isolate one and say it happened this way. But majority of the time, all the stations, they keep inviting each other. They are in the very common terms with each other, because it is a question of, and I say within inverted commas, survival. It was in a place like Antarctica, you don't live, you survive because the weather. Okay, so each and every one was concerned about the weather. Each and everyone was concerned about the ration. Each and everyone was concerned about what we had yesterday and what we are going to have tomorrow. Okay, you may be very sedantic. You may be very philanthropic about it, but it is not necessary that you go empty stomach. If you don't have, you go and borrow from others, and others were very happy to give you. Not a problem. Okay, so it was not a thing. Just repeat your first question again.
So my first question was there any peculiar unserviceability of any helicopter on any expedition which had to be tackled, very complicated or anything?
No. There was one odd one. In the 8th expedition, they repaired a helicopter. They put a helicopter on the snow, and for 2 nights, the maintenance people worked and brought the helicopter back onto the ship. So things are there. I haven't got the details. If you want the details, I can put it on the WhatsApp. Not a problem. We didn't have small little snacks. When we had a big snack, we just changed the part. We never went around repairing it. We just did, what we did was, we took that part out and we put the part back. Okay. Once we finished the flying on one helicopter, that was available as spare parts again, extra spare parts. So it was not a big problem. We maintained. And challenge was during the 8th expedition, when we had 3 helicopters to operate and everything went off well. The maintenance man was AVM Takral that time, and AVM's Group Captain Saxena. Both were awarded with gallantry medals. Yeah. Manjunath, please go ahead. Unmute yourself, please. Das, please go ahead.
Okay. So now, can
Yes, sir.
you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just I wanted to know, because during your expedition time, is there any ration scarcity or any sort of scarcity which you faced that is beyond your control, and how could you manage during entire
Yes,
expedition times?
Repeat the first part again.
During your expedition period, is there any ration or any other food scarcity? Food. I'm messing.
Okay.
I'm talking to regarding.
No.
Is
The
there
answer
any
is
scarcity?
answer is a big no in capital letters, because ration was not the point. Ration was in plenty.
You had sufficient ration with you.
Yes.
There
Why
is
we
no
had extra ration was, whatever the fresh and whatever the current ration we used to take, we used to put them in the winter camp, and
I
left
see.
over there we used to bring it back. That also was extra available.
I see. So,
Okay, there was no. Yes, in the permanent stations there,
Yeah.
when they ran short of something, what I told Rajendra Apte, that each country, each station looked after each other. Not a problem. There was no ration shortage at all. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I see. 1 second, sir. Group Captain Das, sir, you may ask.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, you see, all the navigators of the Air Force, they will know something known as the polar navigation or
Okay.
the grid navigation.
Yes.
So the Antarctica or the Arctic navigation used to be based on that.
Yes, sir.
The navigators are well versed with this polar or the grid navigation. Were we resorting to that in the navigation in Antarctica?
The flying there never involved long distance flights. It was short utility flights. When we think of taking our IL-76 like the Russians from India to Antarctica, I agree with your system saying that navigators would be of great help. In this, the helicopters were on short utility flights only. Only thing we bothered was the visibility so that we do not create unwanted incidents, and also take care of the immediate requirements, because sometimes